Hi, I'm Toby Smithson, a registered dietitian nutritionist and a passionate advocate for healthy eating choices. It's my pleasure to work with the American Heart Association and Aramark to share nutritious tips to some of our favorite recipes. If you're looking to save time and money, a great strategy is to cook once but eat twice. The first way to accomplish this is by cooking enough of a basic ingredient, poultry, lean meats, vegetables, or beans, at one time to use for 2 meals. Let's start with selecting lean sources of protein. Why is this important? Protein may help you feel full and satisfied until the next meal. It's also essential for building muscle. The American Heart Association recommends eating skinless poultry and fish cooked using healthy methods. If you choose to eat red meat, select the leanest cuts available. Here are some tips to select the healthiest options. For poultry, look for skinless chicken and skinless turkey with visible fat removed. Lean ground turkey or chicken, choose at least 90% or 95% lean. For beef and pork, look for items labeled loin and round. They usually have the least fat. Use choice or select grades of beef rather than prime. For hamburgers or meatloaf, choose 95% extra lean ground beef. If you purchase ground beef that is 90% lean or less, pour off the fat after browning. Did you know protein also comes from plant sources as well as animal sources? In fact, every plant we eat has at least a little bit of protein in it, and some have a lot, like beans and legumes. Both are high in minerals and fiber without the saturated fat found in some animal proteins. Eating beans and legumes as part of a heart-healthy diet may help improve your blood cholesterol and keep you feeling full longer. Try to buy canned options with no salt added if they have them at your store. Here's a delicious recipe to get you started. Enjoy.
I'm Carol Ritchie, and today I'm preparing a two-for meal. There is going to be a maple glazed chicken and then a delicious sesame chicken and vegetable stir fry. So it is a great way to get you through the week. So we first start off by the marinade for our maple glazed chicken. So with that, I'm using pure maple syrup. That's going to help tenderize. It'll give it sweetness and a nice smoky kind of mapley flavor. And then we also have some low sodium Worcestershire sauce. Choose the lowest possible. To add zing and flavor, I have crushed chili peppers. And I also have some red chili sauce. Okay, there we go. And I have some grated onion. A little bit of vinegar. And olive oil. So this marinade is absolutely beautiful. With this particular recipe, we're going to take out some of the marinade here to make the glaze for later. And in certain recipes, you can use the marinade, but you'd have to boil it first to kill any bacteria that might be in there. So this just makes it easy to use some of that glaze for the rest of your dish. So we have that nicely stirred together, and then cornstarch is going to go into the part that I reserved. So again, when I'm cooking something that involves poultry or fish, I like to keep it safe and sanitary. There we go. So that's going to be our nice little glaze. So this is garlic. We're going to put some fresh garlic in there. When I do fresh garlic, when I get the skin off, I use a closed fist. I just give it a nice quick pound there, and then you can take that skin right off. I love using fresh garlic. It just really helps to make that flavor pop. And when you're doing heart-healthy cooking and trimming fat, cutting back on the sodium, you do need to add extra flavor. So using your herbs, using your spices, using assertive ingredients that are nutrient dense and flavorful are gonna be your winners in the kitchen. So once I get it chopped up a little bit, put my hand over my knife and just give that a chop little bit of a finer chop. Okay, there we go. So I will scrape that right there, put that in my marinade and my finished dish. So I'll give it a little bit of both. Whoops, I put it in my glaze, but that's okay. Just take it out, put it right in there. Now we have some fresh ginger, my favorite thing. It's just so flavorful, and it's kind of, just really perks up the flavor. A little bit spicy, but not in a really intense way like a chili pepper would be. So the best way to work with fresh ginger is to scrape it with a spoon. Honestly, the peel you could eat the peel. It's just very thin and papery. And when you do this with a spoon, it just makes life so easy. So, and you can actually, just break off a little chunk of what you need, store the rest in the freezer if you want to. That is fine. And then just hold your knife on top there, and then just rock your knife right over to get that fantastic aroma and flavor of the fresh ginger. Very good. Here goes our garlic and ginger. I'm going to put some in the marinade and some in the finished dish there for our glaze. All right, now for the chicken, because I am going to be handling the chicken, but chicken tenders are fantastic. They're lean. They do have this little bit of a tendon right in here. So what you do is you take a little fork and then place that right there where the tendon is, and then take a paper towel, a dry paper towel, so that you can really get a grip, and then just pull that right through the fork. That really makes it easy to take off that little tendon. And when I'm cooking heart healthy, I also use lean meats, and I trim the visible fat. So that's always a great tip when you're cooking heart healthy. So I'll spread my marinade on the chicken, use a shallow container for that, and ideally, it's best to marinate this in the refrigerator at a minimum 15 minutes or up to 8 hours. Since our timing for this segment is a little short, I'm going to go ahead and move forward with the recipe so that you can see how to prepare it. All right, just make sure that that is nicely nestled with that marinade. So, very good. Now, I have my skillet heated up. We'll add olive oil to this, just a little bit. And we'll sizzle that chicken and get it cooked. It only takes about 7 to 10 minutes. You want the chicken to be no longer pink. You'll turn it halfway, and when it tests 170 on a meat thermometer, when inserted in the center, you know that it's done. All right, so clean work area, wise marinade process, and cooking proper temperatures. That's always important. And again, with every American Heart Association recipe, the guesswork is taken out for you. It's all in the recipe. Very good. So I'll be cooking this, and I'll see you in just a minute for the final dish of this and starting of the sesame chicken stir fry with vegetables. Alrighty, so now it's time to glaze the chicken for our maple glazed chicken. We have the reserved glaze here. Chicken's nice and brown. It's 170 degrees internal temperature. The glaze thickens up with that little bit of cornstarch. I'll reserve part of it. We'll cut that up for our sesame stir fry for the chicken and vegetables. And then I'll present the finished maple glazed chicken for you right now. It's so nice to have a double duty meal because protein, it just really is a satisfying and filling food. It's great for building muscles, and it's easy to cook lean meats and poultry and fish in heart healthy ways. So ideally to have chicken and fish as much as you can into your daily lifestyle. And maybe even have a meatless day. You could do a meatless Monday, for example, have lentils and rice. Have fun with it. It's a very enjoyable thing to do. So we start off first by putting a little bit of oil into our pan. And that is a vegetable oil, or you can use a safflower oil, something that's low in saturated fat. Now in stir fry cooking, I tend to put the longer cooking vegetables in first. So that would be the broccoli and the carrots. And when you're stir frying, you're cooking on a medium-high heat until it's tender crisp. Some like it more crispy than others. Some like their vegetables a little bit more tender. So cook it the way that you like and the tenderness that you like. You just need a little bit to get all of those flavors, and the little bit of oil will help with the browning. Very good. I'm going to add my cabbage now. Now, there's a lot of different types of oils out there. I will add the sesame oil. Traditionally, when I use it personally, I usually add it near the end of cooking time because it's got a low smoke point to it. So if you were to use it for stir frying, it could burn. So that's one of the reasons I like to buffer it with the ingredients, put it in a little bit later. And that's perfectly fine. So how does that look? Doesn't it look good? The aroma is incredible. All right, we will also add, here goes our sugar snap peas. Those take about 30 seconds to cook, believe it or not. So while that's cooking, I will start to cut up this chicken. We need it in bite-sized pieces. So once it cools, you can easily cut it into bite-sized pieces. Now, cooking ahead is such a joy, and you will thank yourself later for doing that. Cool it properly, and then refrigerate it or freeze it properly in a rigid container or a self-sealing container, and then you'll be ready for a great dinner. All right, I'll add the water chestnuts. Gives it a nice crunch. And the green onions. Amazing flavor. We're going to add that sauce. So this sauce is made with very similar ingredients to the maple glazed chicken. So you'll be able to see on that recipe exactly the portions and what you need and how much. So when you cook this on a medium-high temperature, that cornstarch will help to thicken it. So nice. And then we'll add our reserved chicken. Oh, so satisfying, so delicious. And a great feeling of self-accomplishment when you do something like this to take very good care of yourself. All right, so I'm stirring in some mandarin oranges. That little bit of sweetness is going to harmonize well with a little bit of the tart and the soy flavor. All righty, we will put this together for you on a beautiful plate. And then, of course, call everyone to dinner, and they will be very excited. Look at all those colors, flavors, textures, and aroma. Okay, gotta get a little bit of carrot on there. And the final garnish will be some sesame seeds. And that, remember, you eat with your eyes first. So voila, we have a fantastic 2-for-1. You've got your maple glazed chicken, and then we also have the stir fry using the same chicken that you cooked before. So glad that you guys could join today, and thank you so much for learning and cooking with us today. Aramark and the American Heart Association want to help you discover, choose, and prepare healthy foods. For additional resources, go to heart.org/healthyforlife.